Welcome to the Trinity Force Podcast. Yo, it's that Triforce cast beaming straight to your home. Grab a beer so we know Pone ain't drinking alone. Send an email, a quick tweet, just pick up the phone. Leave a message at the beep if you're a creep, watch your tone. Discuss the meta game, patch notes, whatever helps your stats most. Obi Pone Kenobi is your last hope to snatch gold. So grab your headphones and join in the fun. We'll try and force in some jokes and some cringeworthy puns. Yo, we can make it together, people. Trinity Force Podcast. These boys are second to none. Now that's the end of the intro. It's time we begun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 771 of the Trinity Force Podcast. I am, as always, your host, N.A. Erik, and it's just me and my friend Sean tonight. Sean, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. We're hanging out.
Yeah, we are. We're chilling. So we have patch 12.12 just dropped today, actually like 6 hours ago or so. I was worried the notes weren't going to come out in time when I was figuring out what we're going to talk about for this episode when I was looking around at noon on my lunch break or so, and then they weren't out. I was like, oh shit, are we going to go off of the provisional notes? But nope, they dropped, and it's all good. The patch is 1 day delayed, so normally we're recording today on a Wednesday. Normally the patch would have dropped already by now because they drop on like Wednesdays at like 3 a.m. or something Pacific time, or like 3 a.m. Eastern time or some shit. But now it's coming out on Thursday at like 3 a.m. at Pacific time or something. So, yeah. But so let's get into it. Let's break it down, and then I know that you guys will be listening to this if you're listening to the audio recording a few days that it's already active, but never hurts to hear an extra opinion. So let's get into it. But before we do that, Sean, how you been, man? I mean, it's been hot up here for me in the Midwest here. So have you been getting the heat wave as well?
Yeah, I think it's kind of over now. It was a little cooler today, but it was like mid-90s the past couple days, which is pretty hot.
Yeah.
I know a lot of my friends are from the South, and they're probably like laughing at me if they hear this, because like I know it gets like in the hundreds there pretty regularly. But at the same time, they don't really get snow in the winters, so
yeah,
I'd still rather take the heat over the snow any day. I hate the cold, honestly.
I definitely I like the cold, which is why I live in a place where there's winter, but and there's like real winter, not just winter because I went to high school in Georgia, so I understand the southern heat in the summer where it's like, yeah, you walk outside, it's 100 degrees, and within like 5 seconds you can feel the moisture sitting on your body. Like you literally feel like you're swimming through the air. That's like a normal summer day living down in the swamps down there. And I mean, I love exercising in that weather. So like it was in Minnesota here, that's what the weather was like on Monday. And it was beautiful. I was out running and it was so nice. Most people, when I say that that's my ideal exercising weather, call me a psychopath, which is fine. I'll accept it. I'll own it. But I used to have to play soccer in those conditions, so I'm used to it. But yeah, it got really hot, and then it's cooled down a bit. But by cooled down a bit, it's still like mid 80s or so for me here, and still sunny. The sun feels really hot, and it's still decently humid out. It's cooled down some though, so it's less unbearable. But yeah. Sorry, I totally interrupted and took over your tangent there. So okay, you're surviving the heat. Do you have central AC or do you have to have window ACs?
We just have one window AC in our living room, which really sucks. But I've got like a big metal fan in our bedroom to like it's kind of like it gets to be like a wind tunnel in there. It works pretty well, so that works at least. I don't have too much of a problem with just like the window AC or whatever. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I think I've been kind of trying out taking like a little break in between league games once in a while and going and like sitting on our patio because we live in an apartment complex. So I'll go chill on the patio for a bit and just hang out. I don't know. I'll take like a couple-minute break and I don't know, like reset, I guess is the best way to put it. I remember like a long time ago, I was smoking like a bit, just like cigarettes, and for whatever reason, that break in between games, like It honestly felt like it made me play better. I don't know if it actually did, but that was like at my highest is when I was smoking cigarettes,
I mean, I'm
and
sure.
I would like go take a break, like a 5 minute break in between each game, and you'd sit there and like ponder the game or whatever,
Yeah, I'm
and
sure it
like
did make you play better somewhat. It's that mental reset. Like I totally get that when, I have to go and I'll go get another glass of water, or I'll go into the living room and bother my girlfriend while she's watching some TV. I'll just go and like rile up the dog and then walk away into the other room. So then our dog is just going crazy and she has to deal with it, or just go and chat. Or like I live in a multi I live in like a house with vertical three different residences, and we're on the second floor, so we have a porch. And yeah, I'll go and sit on the porch for 5 minutes or so and just chill and water the plants and just like mentally reset. I think it totally makes a difference, because then you're not too in your head. You're not almost like starting the snowball of tilt. You're kind of stopping it right there. I totally get that, man.
yeah, I think I'll try doing it when I start playing ranked again. I don't know. I think for the most part, it should help. I'm kind of like struggling right now between like picking champions for ranked, I guess. I mean, like I talk about this every week. Like and I don't know. I was playing some bot lane this week and like basically just figured out that I am not made for that role anymore. I don't know if there was probably a lot different about me when I was younger, but like nowadays, like I just can't keep up with it, and I'm not none of the champions that make me really want to play it that much. I think usually when I play it nowadays, I'm just kind of getting filled there. So I'm just sticking to top now. That's it at least. It's just like picking champions in top, and right now, I'm saying I want to just be a gangplank player, just nonstop, only gangplank. I always kind of like wussy out almost, and I'll get like a couple bad games and I'll miss like a bunch of barrels or something, or like have like a game where like I play against a range champion, they're saying they're like poking my barrels all game, and I'll get really annoyed and I'll just stop playing the champion again. But I guess like what I'm realizing now is like you literally have to just get really good at one champion to like climb, and like the champions I play right now are like Ornn and Darius and Set, and I'm like fine playing them for a couple of games, but I feel like I'd get to like plat and then like I just wouldn't want to put in the time and effort to climb higher than that because I don't find the champions that like awe-inspiring or whatever. Don't want to put in a ton of time to them. So I think Gangplank's it. Like I like everything about the champion other than his kit is super hard. So like I feel like I should be good for putting in a ton of time on the champion. It's just that like the skill ceiling, or not skill ceiling, the like skill curve on the champion is like what I've got to get past. I've just kind of got to like
Yeah, the skill floor is really high, or it's really low, and the skill ceiling is really high. Like you can be
yeah.
terrible with Gangplank, absolutely useless, or you can just absolutely demolish. But there's a large learning curve for it. I think there's champions like that, and there's a lot of them. It's like 100 wins or so, or 100 games or so. Then you start to see the win rates go up from 45 or even lower. Up like Zoe's one of those. Kiana is another one of those. I mean, Nidalee will take longer. Yasuo is like that. Like, there's lots of very mechanically, or maybe because Gangplank's not super mechanical, it's just very different. You're basically playing the barrel minigame, so you have to manage that. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking on u.gg right now, and he is D tier according to them, and a 48% win rate, despite having an almost 10% pick rate, which is kind of crazy. But when you go Gangplank, what build are you going with? Because there's so many that are out there.
I've just been doing the grasp and the essence reaver. I honestly forget. I just I know solar as a build where it's like grasp, and then you go like essence reaver and lucidity boots into like double crit cloak, I think is the build. I'm gonna have to look it up later, but like I mean that's just what I'm gonna go. I know there is like kind of like a bruisery gangplank build that I've seen a couple people go now, but I'm
Yeah,
probably not gonna go with.
I've been
It's like
seeing.
Death Stance. It's like Trinity and the Death Stance or something weird.
I haven't seen that, but I've seen in LCK that T1's top laner Zeus has played in like 3 games so far in their 2 matches they've had, because they're 3 game sets. He's played it with he went Triforce into Ravenous Hydra into Cyrilda's. It was the weirdest build I've ever seen. And then
Hmm.
maybe a Hull Breaker after that, or maybe something else after that specific. But like those 3 items in a row, and I've never seen Ravenous Hydra, like the new Ravenous Hydra on Gangplank, and it seemed fine. But Cyrilda's seemed a little. The barrel's already slow, as does the ultimate. So it seems like if you're gonna want armor pen, why not just get LDR, because then you get the crit as well. But if you're not going crit at all, I get it. You're not getting that. I don't know. But the Giant Slayer passive of LDR is just huge. So we'll see. But yeah. So since
Yeah.
you said you play set, I wanted to bring this up. I'm sharing on the screen as well a game. My last game that I played, it was a ranked game where I dominated as Fiddlesticks. But that's not why I brought it up. It's that we had a set top who was facing Mundo. I think that's already set favored, but he the set top built Kraken Slayer into Phantom Dancer, and he was working on an IE when the game ended. Like he ended the game by taking down the Nexus towers at like 16 or 17 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like he was, or 20 minutes. Like they didn't get a chance to really surrender because he was like 5 hitting those turrets. And if I look up this guy, I was looking him up, and he was he plays set top and he plays it crit a lot. So yeah, Kraken Slayer and then into he gets IE, he gets Bloodthirster, he gets Phantom Dancer, and gets GA is what it looks like. And sometimes Bruiser, but a lot of times like Mortal Reminder here. Who was he playing against? He was playing against a Warwick. That totally makes sense. But when he's playing against like a Singed or Aurelia or something, basically just the same sort of crit stuff. And I've never tried crit set because I find his autos to be really clunky. But maybe that's something you should try, man, because it works for this guy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you can make it work. I guess like the shield from the W would give you some extra effective HP, so you're not just getting one shot at any given moment. But like, yeah, I don't. I mean, like the clunky autos thing. That's just part of like learning set. Like you learn that fairly fast.
Sure.
But I don't know. I hate going builds like that on melee champions where you just get one shot. You're basically an assassin at that point. I guess you're trying to assassinate turrets, from what it sounds like you're saying.
Well, he
Like,
was assassinating turrets, but then even he was like smacking down this Mundo, and then Lilia would show up. Like they took my Lilia because I was gonna because we had double AD solo laners. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Lilia, and then some guy picks it, and he's like, he plays Lilia, but he had like a bad win rate on it, and sure, like, he was learning it, but I was like, dude, you're playing Lilia wrong. I was like giving him pointers in all chat and stuff because I'm just trying to help him out, but uh, yeah, Lilia would go up and he would just double kill them, and then he went around and would just dive and kill. He's not a Smurf because, well, if he is, his and op.gg doesn't say it because he had like 400 or 500 games of like a 51% win rate, so he's normally in plat. But yeah, like that crit set, it got rolling and it was disgusting.
no, I've seen a lot more lethality set, which is kind of similar, where it's basically just all damage stats and you don't get tanky at all. And
He's got
yeah,
really high ratios. Like I play lethality set on ARAM. Well, I don't know if I haven't played it recently, but I used to play it on ARAM when I'd get him. But it's disgusting. You Prowler's Claw ult someone, and you don't even have to flash ult them. Like you go through, deal extra damage on the ult, and then you can also flash in with your E stun, and then if you have taken enough damage, then the grit will do just you can literally one-shot people. It's disgusting. And those autos are doing like 700 or 800 damage per hit on the Q. It's disgusting.
yeah. I mean, I guess I'd say in general for like bruisers, you kind of just do enough damage without just building bruiser items, which make you quite a bit tankier. So like, especially against squishies, like if you're playing against like all squishies, like you do not need extra damage at all. You're going to be one-shotting people generally anyways. So like, that's why I'm not a big fan of it. But I've never actually tried lethality set. I've only seen other people play it, so I guess maybe if I tried it, I might like it. I'm not really sure.
I'd
But I'd
encourage you
say,
to go try it just because it looks really fun.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just. It just seems like an assassin build to me, right? Like you're basically just trying to like pick off one person with like your full combo instead of like sit. Because if you try to sit at the front of a team fight, you're just gonna die like instantly, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But if you're building Bloodthirster, you have some survivability and GA. If your lethality set, it's a lot different. Like you said, like you're trying to make a pick and then just blow up the whole team. And if it doesn't work, you don't do anything. But
Yeah.
crit, I think, has probably some more just because you have a lot of move speed and a lot of attack speed. But if your lethality, if you don't hit the W and stuff, you're sure you hit hard, but it's like gung gung. It's the autos are really slow.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know. I would say at least try it in a normal. See if you like it. I mean, you don't have to try it, of course, but I saw it and I was like, huh, that's actually kind of cool. It's probably pretty decent, and it works for him. Don't know if it's actually that good, but it works for him, and he has like a 53% win rate on that set over like 300 or 400 games. So it works for
Yeah.
him. Test it out if you want to, anyone. But yeah, so okay. Yeah, hopefully you get back into ranked soon, man. I've been playing some ranked, and it's been going now that like I'm more practiced again because for a while I wasn't playing that much. I was playing ARAMs and playing norms pretty casually, and then community game night, of course. But other than that, I wasn't really trying too hard, and not that I'm trying super hard now, but I'm feeling more practiced and more polished with a lot of the ranked games I've been playing, putting much more time into. Well, I've been playing Lilia a lot more and still keeping a near 70% win rate, and played a few games of Jarvan, which are very hit and miss as the champion is now, but he's getting buffs on this patch, so I'm very excited about that. Fiddlesticks, where it's a good situation, still feels disgusting, so I've been enjoying playing him. But yeah, like it's I don't know. People are so afraid of Bel'Veth as well, I've found, but I don't think that Bel'Veth is a good champion. It's just like a very noob stompy design. It's even easier to deal with than Amumu, and Amumu is a pub stompy champion as well. Like it's Bel'Veth is just a bad champion, and people are so afraid of her. I see her banned all the time, and I'm like, if someone picks Bel'Veth into my team, I'm like, okay, that sounds fine. I'm actually happy about that. I'd rather you pick that than Warwick or than Wukong, which I also don't think is a great jungler. Or well, you can't pick Graves because I always ban it or something. So yeah, I don't know. Rank's been going well though for me. This week I haven't played very much League at all, just because my family's in town. We have my grandpa's belated memorial this weekend, and then a graduation party also this weekend. So I'm pretty busy this week, so I probably won't get much League in. But maybe. Well, I played yes on Monday a bit, but maybe on Monday when I get back and after work and stuff, I'll play. We'll see. But yeah, that's how things have been for me since you asked.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just monologue like this, and my girlfriend makes fun of me for it. Like I just go and monologue, and then I'll make a remark like, oh, since you asked, or yeah, did that answer your question, or things like that. Just because I have an uncanny ability to continue talking and hearing my own voice. But yeah. Yep.
I mean, I guess it works out because I'm a fairly slow tempo person. We're getting through a two-man hour-long podcast. One person's got to be talking quite a bit.
Sounds great to me. So,
but have you seen the Bel'Veth power play though? It's funny.
No, I don't think so.
I don't even know if it's funny. It's stupid when it happens. So you take Herald, and then you like go top lane, or you split push either lane by yourself basically, and you take as many minions as possible with your ult, because you get like 3 minutes of ult when you take Herald.
Yep.
And you spawn in like 15 or like 20 of these stupid minions, and they're tanky as hell, and like usually you can just like sprint it down one of the lanes, especially if only like 1 or 2 people respond. Like your minions are basically like a whole nother minion wave on their own, and then you spawn in Herald too, and it's like fairly common for you to just go straight to like the enemy nexus on one side of the map. It's really stupid when it happens. I've had it happen to me like 2 or 3 times now that people kind of learn about it. Because it's like part of her kit that you just forget about, that she like spawns in minions since she's a jungler. Like she doesn't interact a ton with lane minions. So like it's kind of like an oversight, I feel like, and that people haven't really tried messing with that much. But like when it happens to you, it feels so bad. Like half your map just is gone in like a couple minutes.
Yikes.
I guess you'd probably need like 4 people to respond to it because like her minions are like they're just super tanky. Like I was playing Tryndamere in one of the games. I was a level 8 Tryndamere and she spawned in a bunch of these minions. It was taking 3 autos for me to kill one.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it was almost like stronger than a normal minion at that point. So it's like just I don't know. It was just pretty stupid. But that's like the Bel'Veth power play that I've seen like some people have been trying.
Okay. I haven't seen that because most of the time she's banned and I never pick her. So then I'm only, there's even less of a chance for me to see her since I'm jungling on the other side. But yeah, and there was one game that I was supposed to get her, but I dodged because on my faithful u.gg desktop client told me that 2 or 3 of the people on my team were auto-filled and had 45% win rates over a couple hundred games. So I was like, nope, gonna reset. Just nope. I'm gonna go get a snack. I'll come back. And then after that, I was totally fine. But no, I haven't. I actually have not played with one on my team at all. So I've only faced it, and I haven't seen that power play. But I totally get what you're saying, and it sounds like it's a little crazy. But some of that's getting nerfed. So I guess before we get into that, we have a new question of the week. So our new question of the week is, how much weight do you put on your solo queue rank? So I guess, Sean, it's a week, and this is a question, and you can answer that. So why don't I throw it to you first? How much weight do you put on your solo queue rank?
I mean, I came up with this question. I feel like the thought process was like some people will like treat it like they'll literally like treat people worse or better like based on their solo queue rank. Like if you're like playing with people, you're like, oh, you're just like shit or silver, like whatever. I'd say for the most part, I don't really care. Like I'm the kind of person that's never really gonna flame like people I'm in VC with. At least like maybe I'll flame like random solo queue teammates if I'm like really mad, but like I'm never gonna get mad enough to like flame people. So like I guess like I don't know. If like if you're like obviously better at the game, right? Like let's say that's like how like your solo queue rank is how good you are playing by yourself, basically. So like I feel like people are more likely to flame you in like ranked and just in general if your rank is lower. So like right now I'm silver 1 on my Smurf, and like honestly I kind of feel like I'm silver 1 just because I've been switching around all season and like I've been playing like shit. So like I personally as a player almost feel like worse because I am silver compared to like when I'm normally like plat. I'd say in the past like couple of seasons I've always been like high gold or plat. So I guess I personally feel a decent amount worse about it because I am silver right now. So I'd put a decent amount of weight on it.
Gotcha. What's your Smurf again? I forgot the name of it.
It's just Sean space E-boy.
Okay, I didn't know which one
like,
it was. Yeah,
like the whole point of my Smurf
Yeah.
was to like try out like a bunch of random bullshit and see like what I want and try to find like a champion to main. And then like once I get good at one champion, like take it and play on my main so like doesn't mess up the MMR or whatever. But I think over time I just kind of realized that's just kind of a myth too. Like I don't know. Like I'll probably just get to whatever rank I'm grinding on my Smurf on my main. So like it's kind of like a stupid thought, honestly, to like do that.
I mean, there's reasons to have Smurfs, but I'm just looking up like what your MMR is on your main account. Interesting. So your MMR on, because your solo queue rank, if you were to place into it, or what's your? I think you're actually placed on your main account. You're what, like low plat or something, or high gold right now.
I don't think I played any
Oh no,
ranked
you
games
haven't
in
played
the
any games of
main.
ranked. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
switched over like when the sweet season
Right. So
changed
you
over.
would. I know. What'd you finish last season though? You finished plat. Oh, plat 4. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was like platform.
yeah. So your norms MMR is about the same as what? Because it's. I'm just looking it up on like whatismymmr.com, and anyone can do this for their own stuff too. It's really interesting to see. So you can. And I'll drop the link for this in the episode description as well. So yeah, apparently your normal MMR is equal to gold 1, the top 14% of the normals. So, which is kind of surprising that that's that high. But yeah, even on your Smurf, like uh, you're in the top 33% of people on the ladder. So it's not that I know that you know, no one wants to be at the bottom. They want to be as high as they can, and you've finished higher, you've rated higher every season than you are currently on your Smurf. But it only matters as long as you're not flaming other people. It doesn't super matter in my opinion. And you just you haven't been trying to climb that hard, so you're gonna be artificially
No.
lower than your skill ceiling, and your skill ceiling is probably somewhere in, I don't know, mid plat if I had to guess. um, Maybe you could go higher, I don't quite know, but like, you're lower than your skill ceiling, which is fine. You're just enjoying, you're playing lots of normal games, you're doing community game night, you're just doing whatever you want. Like that's totally fine. There are people that I know put a lot of weight on their solo queue rank, and I never really did, I'll say, because I try not to be a toxic player at all. But like I'm just curious I misspelled my thing. So I don't put that much into it as well. But oh, my norms MMR has dropped a good bit. Right now, my ranked MMR is plat 4. Uh, my ARAM MMR is like plat 3, but my norms MMR is like D4. A couple weeks ago, my normal MMR was masters, so there's the good bit difference there. But like, I don't know. I don't have a Smurf that I regularly use. I mean, I have one, but it's not even level 30. Uh, so if I ever want to go and try and play stuff like you're using your Smurf for, I just go play in normals because it's just as competitive of an environment, or more so than what it would be in ranked for me. Or at least it's maybe not as competitive, but it's the average skilled player, the average skill level is going to be higher. So
Yeah. I don't I just like so like I play like 4 or 5 games a day, like at least usually, because it's like me and my friend group's like go-to game, so it's just kind of like what we do. And like you'd kind of think like doing that, like you would just naturally like get better over time, and like that's like I guess it's just like stayed the same, or I mean for me that's actually gotten worse because I remember I checked the like normal MMR, like used like the MMR checker thing like a couple months ago, and it said I was like plat 3 in norms, which like whatever, like it's just kind of like I don't know. Like it's just kind of like a throwaway, whatever. Like who cares?
I
But
think also
at the same time, like it just feels bad that like you put a lot of time in the game. You just kind of think you would get better over time. In reality, unless you're not actually like hunkering down and focusing, you just kind of don't. Like it seems
well,
like that's kind of like the limit.
you might be getting better, just not getting better faster relative to other players around you. That could be it too, because a lot of people are improving at the game. There are people who are playing and actively getting worse because of whatever's going on, but you could be playing and getting better, but also not getting better faster than your competition. That could be it too.
No, I think. I mean, I think like a lot of it is just like what like it's like the shit I talk about every week, like switching role constantly, like
Yeah.
I guess that's most of it. Like, not, I mean, like, when you're playing with your friends too, you don't take the game that seriously. I'd say for the most part, we really don't. So, I don't know. I feel like in Wisconsin, like, winter and, like, going into, like, spring, like, it gets, like, really depressing. And it's, like, for me, anyways, it's, like, hard to, like, grind something or like focus down and grind something, and like it summer time comes around, and all of a sudden like I want to like grind ranked and like get better at it. Where like in like winter it didn't really matter to me. I guess that's just how much like the weather here affects me, but like that's how I feel right now. Like I've been playing more ranked lately, and I've been playing like Ornn and like Set and stuff, or well, Ornn and Darius were like the ones I was like trying out, and that's when I came to a decision like I don't think I could just sit there and grind those all day, but like I actually do kind of want to just try grinding Gangplank for a while and like getting good at it.
Yeah.
So
I support that, except for if I'm facing you in top lane, because whenever I get autofilled or when I'm playing top lane, I ban Gangplank because I hate that champion.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm like that's the thing. I'm like super comfortable on like Ornn right now, so that's like a good backup. But
Cool.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a soapbox, I guess.
No, it's all good. I think we kind of hit the question of how much weight do you put on your solo queue rank. We hit it from a few different angles. So let's please go into the question of the week thread in the Discord and throw in what you guys think. But let's get into the patch, which is why that's what we came here to cover. Although all of this other stuff is super interesting, but the main attraction, bum ba bum. I don't want to do an actual drum roll on my desk because A, it'll make the camera shake, and then B, might blow out the mic or something. So virtual drum roll. So here we'll just run through these because there's a good amount of changes. Some of them I think a lot of them are pretty good. Some of them are maybe placebos, but so I guess we'll just go one at a time, basically. But Amumu is getting his Q cost decreased, but it'll never be as expensive as it was before. It will increase with rank, though. They're trying to bring back Amumu support with it, and then also the R damage. His ult is going up, not the AP ratio, just the flat damage is going up by 50 at every rank as well. So he'll be more valuable with less levels, essentially. They're trying to push back Amumu support because around Worlds it was really, really, really strong with the Curse of the Sad Bullet Time combination, and then right after the Worlds patch hit, they nerfed it by getting rid of his ability to play in bot lane with the mana cost issues. So I honestly think that Amumu support is back just because of the mana cost changes here. That I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be able to be played again. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I don't. This is such a weird change to me because like it felt like when they got rid of Amumu support, they like completely murdered it, right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't even like it like shot up. They did like the change where he got 2 Qs, and then it was like the best support in the game, and then they just like killed it completely like a patch or two later, and now
Yeah.
they're just like reverting the changes. Like this is such a huge change. It's like his Q cost used to be 70 mana starting level 1, and now it's 30 to 50. So even at max level, it's not even close to what it was from level 1 before.
Yeah, you can
So
cast
like
it twice at rank 2, and it costs the same as you're basically getting an entire. Well, it costs the same as what it did for one cast at level 1 before. You're saying this is huge for mana cost.
So I don't know if does he just instantly shoot up to the best support again?
I
mean, it
don't
would be
think
kind of
so because everything is more durable, so you can't nuke people as much. But he's definitely going to be ranked again. Like U.GG doesn't even put him in. He's not even ranked because he's played so little. Like he has so far on patch 12.11, which is like 2 weeks worth of play, he has 3,400 games, which is not very much. Like if I were to go and look at like I don't know who's like Alistair, not even played that much. Pick rate 3%. He has 50,000 matches. So if you're basically Amumu has not enough of a sample size for them to even decide that he's a support really. It's like if you were to look up like Amumu mid lane or Amumu bot lane, like there's less than 200 games on some of these are top lane. Jungle has 25,000 matches, still a 1.5% pick rate. He's not super played in the jungle. He's not that strong. And Plat Plus, this is specifically. But if you put it in, I don't know, let's put all ranks, then he has 400,000 matches. But in support, still not even 40. It has like such a low amount of games. They still don't have enough data here. Yeah, so we'll see about this. But I definitely agree with you that if he's not the best support in the game, he's definitely contending force right there with the best engaged supports in the game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, just like theoretically, like the R and like 2 Qs, like that's got to be like 4 seconds of CC, like on its own. So like you can lock one target in place at least. So like it is pretty crazy.
Would he go? I guess he doesn't have mana issues anymore. But I was thinking, would he just go Frozen Heart first item? Because he totally could do that, just like support Nasus does, and then he'd have a lot of mana and attack speed reduction. He'd be doing AOE and just be tanky as hell for all armor, because then that stacks with his the passive on his E as well. I feel like that's going to be really big. As far as for jungle Amumu, I don't think this changes all that much, because in the jungle you don't care so much about mana. Though this Q change will help a little bit. It'll help you not run out of mana as much in team fights and such. But his R damage, that'll help him as well. It's only 50 damage though, so this isn't gonna make or break because it's an ultimate ability. But it's not gonna bump him up to being an S tier jungler. I don't think it'll help though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Amumu. He's just, I don't know if supports his role because it just feels like super good to me. Like locking down somebody that long, like the second you hit level 6, seems pretty broke. But I guess we'll see.
I could see a weird variation of him being mid lane Predator. You clear the wave and you run away
yeah.
and just go and gank.
Like Cinch.
Yep.
Pairing up. I don't know if you've seen any Cinch in ranked right now, but that champion is so stupid. Like it's got like a crazy win rate. So you play Cinch mid, you take Predator, and you just like roam like the whole game. Like you kind of skip laning phase.
Yeah, Cinch mid is the #1 ranked mid on the patch with 55.5 win rate. 55.5%. Top lane has almost 53%. And Cinch support as well. Well, okay, I bring that up because it's being played in the LCK. They're playing it. Well, okay, only one person's playing it. Lahens is playing it, but it's disgusting. Him playing Cinch support. He takes Summoner Spellbook and stole Baron in the match yesterday, or I guess today, like this morning in Korea. But it was really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Cinch. It just I hate that play stuff. It feels so degenerate.
I mean, we could cover Cinch. He's getting nerfed this patch, so.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Since we're talking about him, I scrolled down to him. Yeah. So his W slow is decreased up until it's decreased up until rank 3 of the ability, but then is increased once you hit rank 5 of the ability. It's not that much more slow. And then his R is also nerfed with the bonus stats, which I think he gets health and he gets AP. And does he get anything else when he ults? I don't know. He gets AP, armor, MR. He gets those 3, and then move speed, health regen, mana regen. I knew those other ones, but I didn't think that the health regen and mana regen and move speed probably are not related to these changes here. But yeah, he's weaker early, stronger late for both of these changes here. I don't think the W change is that big of a deal, because a 60% slow is not that different from a 50% slow. And once he gets to level 17, it turns to 65, and level 18, it turns to 70%. Because I'm pretty sure this is his last max, but yeah, let me see. It's his last max for sure. So we'll see what, but I don't think that makes a difference at all. The W, the alt. I don't think that's that big of a deal either. I honestly don't think that this is a big of a deal. If they really want to get rid of Singed mid and just knock Singe down a tier, they're going to need to hit him harder.
Yeah, I don't understand the nerfs. It doesn't seem like what's making him strong. I mean, like, he's just like a super strong ganker, right? Like, you can just run in and like throw somebody like back in their lane and then slow them. Which I guess like the W is like a decent nerf because it's your last max, but like it's only 10% at early and then it's better late. So, like,
Yeah, it's a
I don't
nerf
know.
for 14 levels, but or for like 14 levels of the game, but it's still not a big deal. So I don't like you said, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a ton of people haven't been playing it, so like maybe it's just like this like super tiny nerf to like make like the people that kind of just picked it up because it is so high win rate to like try to drop it, but like
Yeah, like
I don't know.
his top rune page has a 57, almost 50, is a 58% win rate with 5,500 matches. So that's insane. Yeah, he's definitely. I didn't realize it because I haven't seen him, but yep, totally worthy of a nerf then, for sure.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, but like the game it was in just like completely ruined the game. Like he like literally just snowballed both those lanes like instantly within like the first 10 minutes of the game.
I've played
So
it, but not.
it was
I
like
played against it.
unplayable.
I played against it, but not since the durability update. So since the durability update, I haven't seen it. But I get why since the durability update, he's even better, and that's what they say in the notes here for Cinch. But yep. So
No.
all right, we got Annie next. You want to take us through Annie?
Sure, they're just increasing her Q ratio and then increasing Tiber's base health, armor, and magic resist. So it's fairly small buffs for Annie. But I can see, I mean, she's just kind of a champion that you hang out to level 6 and then try to one-shot the other person. And like if your Q's not doing enough damage, then like I can see why they would need you to do more after the update, after the
Yeah, I
you know
agree.
what I'm
And
saying?
also,
Like if the
yeah, I
kit's
get what
not
you're
working
saying.
at all, like, if the kit doesn't work because everybody's tankier now, like then they just have to buff it.
Yeah, she's stat checky for sure, so they needed to buff her. And also, pets didn't get when every champion got tankier. Pets didn't get tankier, so this makes sense to buff her, buff Tibbers to make him tankier, both in terms of health and armor and MR. But yeah, I still don't think that this is that a big enough uh, increase though with just her Q damage. Because Tibbers tankiness, okay, whatever. You don't Tibbers is not good because he has a lot of health. If he had 1 health, he would be just as good because it's the giant stun. That's the big. I mean, it wouldn't be just as good. He'd be close to as good, but it's that giant AOE stun from range that's the big deal. So, um, yeah, I don't think that this is a big enough deal just because all the the mage items got hit so hard, and she needs a lot of AP and magic pen to do anything. Really, I don't see a world in which this really helps Annie all that much.
Yeah. I mean,
She does have a 50.5% win rate so far on this patch. I mean, that's what it says, but I still don't think that she's very good.
no. I don't have too much to say about it. It's pretty just like a tiny change.
Ooh, Jungle Annie has a 21% win rate. You ever played Jungle Annie before?
No.
It's actually not that bad because her Molten Shield shields her and does a lot of damage and to the minions and monsters and stuff, and her W is pretty good. You have to kite, but it's not that bad. And your ganks are really strong. Like you're running at them with these runes are first strike, but no, you take Predator, you run at them, and then you can just stun them instantly. It's like a point and click stun. It's actually pretty decent.
Hmm.
I mean, if you get invaded early, you can't do anything. So there's that. But if you don't get shut down, which you won't as much in lower elo, Annie Jungle could be the ticket for you. Oof, that was cheesy.
No.
That was cheesy. Gross. All right. Next we have Belveth. So a whole bunch of changes. So we talked about this a little bit in the last one because these are basically these are all the same as the perspective changes. So we talked about them a bit last week. But her health regen is going down. Her basic attack range is going up. but her attack range is basically static with what it was when you have her R active. It's compensatory change. That buff is to nerf on her R. Her health regen growth and health regen at level 18 are both down. So overall health regen is down, and it's just showing the final thing that's actually a pretty big nerf to health regen. But she builds a lot of lifesteal, so that's not really that big of a deal. And then her passive is she now can gain lavender stacks for large minions, so cannons and super minions. She can get them from that, which allows her to actually lane. And then her bonus attack speed is down by well, so it actually caps out at level 13, and it has a higher starting bonus attack speed per lavender stack, but then it caps out at 1% as opposed to 1.25. So how this actually affects her in mid game and late game, I'm not super sure. You'll have to just go and check out Freak's patch notes for that, because there's a lot of intense math on those. Her E, the minimum damage per hit was changed, so it's actually just less all the time, just the flat. It's down by 4 flat. This is her first max. And then her R is those little minions that you were saying were tanky little buggers. Those are getting they're getting nerfed as well, so that once she's level 16, they're the same amount of tankiness, but before then they're squishier, although not that much more. And then her R explosion, when she consumes a coral, then is the same. It's now just her rank 1 value. It's no longer scaling up with ability rank. So there's that, and there's a whole bunch of changes, but a whole bunch of bug changes as well that you can read through. But basically, the only one that I saw that really matters is that her Q no longer deals double intended true damage from the R's passive. So she was getting double true damage when she had her R active, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, other than that, I don't think that they're that big of a deal. Although the other one that I see here now is fixed a bug where if she was already in her R, she would lose her bonus health. So that one was not good, so she's stronger off of that, but she's no longer going to deal bonus damage, double the bonus damage from the R in true damage when Q is active. So there's a lot of stuff there. Sean, when you've been playing a whole bunch of different champions, have you played any Bel'Veth? Or if not, what do you think? Do you think that these nerfs are enough to keep her from being a low elo pub stomper like she is right now?
No, probably not. I haven't played her at all.
Okay.
I'm not interested in the champion at all. But I'd say like the percent health on the minions seems small, but like I said, like it was like taking like at least like 2 auto attacks to kill them. So like if like the 50% instead of 70 is enough to like kill them early in the game, then like that actually is pretty big. So if you can just one hit all the minions, all of a sudden this crazy Bel'Veth power play doesn't really matter anymore because you can just kill them all right away. So that could be a big difference, but yeah, I mean, I'm just not interested in the champion at all. It seems kind of like worse Master Yi to me almost. So
yeah, I agree, but a much worse Master Yi, not as much outplay potential, very deliberate with what's happening, very telegraphed with what she's doing. It does make sense to nerf her though, because if I look, so in Iron, she had a 56, almost 57% win rate, with a 17% pick rate. So just way too much winning for how much she's getting picked. Bronze, almost the same amount of pick rate, almost 56% win rate. Silver, almost 54.5% win rate, still a 14% pick rate. Gold, 13% pick rate, 53% win rate. She's the number 1 jungler across Iron, Silver, and Bronze. And then Gold, she's number 4 in terms of win rate. And then in Plat, still 51.5, so she's getting closer to balanced with an 11% pick rate. And then once you hit Diamond, she's basically balanced 50.5 with 9% pick rate. But then you get into Masters and higher, her win rate drops, and U.GG rates her as being terrible. Challenger, she has like a 47% win rate. She's not good in Challenger. Grandmaster, it's 49. Master, it's 48.5. So overall, she does better the lower down you are, but that's basically just because she gets to refresh off the Void Coral. That's my read on it. She gets to refresh all the time, and so she's just gonna be better off of that. I don't think these nerfs are that big of a deal, though. Like you said.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah, I haven't. There's not been enough. We don't have a lot of deep insights on Belveth. But yeah, there's these changes that went through. We don't think that they'll do that all that much, but there will be a little bit of win rate drop because she didn't get any buffs. So, yeah. Okay. Next one we have is Blitzcrank. Ooh, everyone's favorite Zonite robot. The Q base damage is increased, and the R active base damage is increased. So the Q, yeah, it's up by 15 at all ranks. The AP is the same, though. It's 120% AP. Wow, that's really high AP ratio. And then the R, not the passive, when you auto attack something, then the lightning bolt comes down, but when you actually activate it, and then it does that detonation in the mass silence, that's up by 25 at each rank. These are bad. I mean, these will help Blitz, but you don't pick Blitz for damage. You pick him for the hook, and if he does any damage, it's nice. But yeah, if he's doing more damage, that's sweet. Right now, he's average. He's just okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say in general, like right now, enchanters are really good, and Blitzcrank is kind of considered like a hard counter when you can grab them and just like insta kill them, basically. So like trying to make Blitzcrank a little bit better to tone down enchanters a bit is my guess on it. But
yeah, he's also
it is
like
very small buffs, so like
very small. Yeah, he's also just not played all that much as I'm looking. I mean, he's played some, but he's not bad. He's just not good either. So they're trying to probably increase his popularity because there's people don't like playing against Blitzcrank because it completely warps team comps and changes the way that you have to play the game. But he definitely is. If you're playing with him and you're playing with a good Blitz, whew, good Blitzcranks are next level shit, man. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're good at it, it is like a game-changing champion, I'd say. Especially like mid-late game, I think that gets overlooked a lot. Like, because a lot of mid-game, like late-game blitzes will just like hide in a bush and like miss a hook on someone that like doesn't matter. But if you can get like a good hook that leads to a pick late game, it can literally just change how the game would turn out. So like,
or
it
even
can be a huge game-changing champion.
absolutely, and then even when let's say you're able to hit some hooks in early to mid game, so people understand that you know how to hit a hook, then you can, um, also not even throw out the hook, but just the threat, the presence of every bush you walk into, Blitz might be there with someone because you don't know. The amount of like mental pressure that he exerts is extreme too. Because you're always having to think, okay, this guy can hook me from like 13 or 1400 units away. That's really far. I need to be aware of what's happening at all times and be ready to flash or be ready to use a spell shield if you're a champion that has that or something. It's the mental pressure. That's the part that I find the most debilitating about playing against good Blitzcranks is just the mental drain that they put on you.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I usually kind of forget about it. So, like, maybe I'm just playing against a lot worse blitz because I guess that is really scary if you think about it. But
I guess also, no offense, but you're not playing a jungler, which is kind of like if you're around objectives, that's the worst champion to get hooked because then if you die,
yeah,
you
that's
can't
fair.
really contest the objective as much. So it matters more to keep the jungler alive than any other role when you're worrying about a Baron or a Dragon specifically.
Yeah.
So, yep. But okay, next one we have is Dr. Mundo. I have not played Mundo in forever. Sean, you want to take Mundo for us?
Sure, they're just decreasing his passive health regen and his the increased health he gets when he ults is also getting decreased. So that's like has to be a low elo nerf, right? Like I don't, I don't see Uno in my games, and like when I do see him, he's not doing great. So like he's got to be like stopping like low elo right now, or else
Well,
like I don't understand this at all.
In Plat Plus, apparently he is the 4th best top laner with a 52.6% win rate. And
A 52?
yeah, 52 with a 2 point.
Huh.
I mean, not a high pick rate, 2.9% pick rate, but 52. If I look Diamond Plus, it's 51.8. Diamond 2 Plus is 50. Masters 52.5. Grandmaster, yeah. Challenger, he's 54.5. That's kind of crazy. But if I look, yeah, all ranks 54. So let's see, what's pulling up the average then? Silver, he's 54.3. Bronze, 54.5. Iron, 55.4. So yeah, he's actually above 50% in every elo, except for Master, or except for where was it? Except for nope, everywhere. He's above 50 everywhere. So he's doing well.
Yeah, I think I saw some sort of like post from Riot where they said like between like 47 and 53 was balanced, I believe. Or at least that's how Riot saw it. So I mean, like he's like right in the middle, right? So I.
And he's also going to be on the higher end there because of his simplicity. Like it's for mechanically intensive champions and difficult champions, like a Gangplank, like you're saying, Gangplank shouldn't be above 50. He should be in that 48 to 47 range. Is probably where he belongs. Because then, the casual Gangplank player is not doing well, which the casual Gangplank player who doesn't really know how to use his kit all that well shouldn't be doing that well, as opposed to a casual Garen player, a casual Mundo player. You don't really need to know all that much. You kind of just press your buttons and walk at somebody. So, yeah, I think he's probably, like you said, he's too high on that top end of balanced.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. Maybe people like don't. I just feel like Muno's not that hard to deal with.
I don't think he is either.
I've
But
really had problems.
But what champions do you play? What champions are you playing against Mundo?
Yeah, I mean, I play bruisers, which are generally good in the tanks. So I guess that makes sense.
And I play a lot of Lilia. And Lilia is great at dealing with tanks, like an absolute tank destroyer. So I think it's maybe just a function of our champion pools that we don't find him as problematic as he probably is. But like if I'm playing Jarvan, I can't deal with Mundo. If I'm playing Fiddlesticks, I can deal with them. But yeah, if I'm playing like Jarvan, if I'm playing Vi or Volibear or something. By the way, Volibear needs to be nerfed. I don't know why he's not in this patch, but yeah, I don't know why he's. I can see how him being more difficult to deal with is something we're not seeing because of it's a function of our champion pools. That's probably what's happening. So.
Yeah.
All right, next one we got. Another top laner, Fiora. Passive AD ratio decrease just on her passive. The AD was 5.5. It's now 4.5 in that formula. So I don't think that this is all that much damage. This is similar to the Red Cane nerf that came through last patch, where he lost a smaller amount, but 0.5% he lost. Now Fiora lost 1%, but still, I don't think that this is that big of a deal. This just hurts. This is just going to make her slightly more easy to deal with and do slightly less damage, but it's still not that big of a deal. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really small nerf in general.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of appeased the masses. A lot of people hate Fiora. She's a really highly banned top laner.
Yeah, right now
playing against Fiora, I ban her quite a bit too.
Yeah, she in Masters Plus, because they said it's for elite play specifically. Masters Plus, she has a 52.2% win rate with a 10% pick rate. That's pretty high for such a difficult champion. Yikes. So, Plat Plus 51.6. Gotcha. I like playing Fiora. She's fun.
Yeah, well, I guess like what we were just saying too, like with like difficult champions, the win rate should be down. Like it shouldn't be 51% in Plat.
No, it shouldn't.
That'd technically be too high, so
She
it
should
should be
be.
lower.
It should be lower. Yeah, but also then let's see. What is it in iron? 49.8, in bronze 50.9, and silver 51.18. Yeah, okay, so she needs nerfs then if she's consistently that high with being this difficult of a champion. Honestly, where she is the worst are bronze and grandmaster for some reason. But yeah, she needs
That's
nerfs.
weird. All the good Fiora players are in Challenger right now. All the bad ones are hard stuck Grandmaster.
Yeah, you guys suck. Hard stuck grandmaster Fiora players? Damn. So next one we have is Heimerdinger. I have not played Heimerdinger or seen him in a while, but his turrets got healthier and do more damage just on base stats, not on ratios. And his grenade, the E, is down by 1 second at all ranks. Cool. These buffs will help. I don't think these are that big of a deal, but even if they were, given how little, like even in community night, I don't see people playing Heimerdinger. I don't see him. So I have no, yeah, mid lane, he's not even ranked. That's where he's supposed to be played. He doesn't have enough of a play rate for U.GG to rank him. So he's just, no one plays him.
Is he ranked top?
No, he's not ranked in any position.
Nobody plays on him.
In his most
other than
played
Tyler
position, he's in most played position is mid with 67 or 7,600 games, and it's just not enough of a sample size. He has a 0.5% pick rate. It's not enough for U.GG to give him a rank and put him into being in the mid lane pool. So, you know, maybe this will make people want to play Heimerdinger. If it is, go for it. Maybe we'll get enough games to get him on the list.
No. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the playstyle sucks. Like, I hate it. Like,
Yeah.
You're, like, literally always pushed. Like, you're forced to be always pushed up. And, like, like, if people are, like, really stupid, they'll run, like, directly into you, and then you'll get, like, free kills. But, like, for the most part, it's fairly easy to play around, especially if you've played against 1 or 2 Heimers. It feels like a very, like, niche playstyle that, like, once you've, like, seen it, like, once or twice, it's really easy to play around. So
Yeah,
I can see, like, I don't think like tiny buffs like this are really gonna make him like meta.
yeah, agreed. So, cool. Ivern, everyone's favorite jungle tree. Passive. Well, I guess maybe not everyone's favorite jungle tree because Maokai can jungle, so he's another jungle tree. In any case, I don't want to get off on a tangent there because then it'll be like 10 minutes later. I'll look up and then I'll be like, oh shit, we should have been talking about Ivern this whole time. Passive health and mana costs reduced. E base shield increased. Daisy health, armor, and MR increased. So Daisy's getting the same treatment that Tibbers did, getting tankier because of the durability updates. Ivern is getting his shield increased by, his AP ratio is the same, but it's up by 10 early, up to 30 late. That's pretty decent on his shield. And then then his passive, the cost for actually starting up one of those circles to absorb a jungle camp is, it's cheaper for mana and health. So overall, this is good for Ivern. This will allow him to more healthily stay in the jungle and maybe put another charge on other jungle camps and not feel like you have to save some health for stuff. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't have like a ton of opinion. I played Ivern in an ARAM yesterday, and he felt really bad. So like, I guess I've played a decent amount of Ivern over time, just because it's kind of like funny. Or I don't know, he's like a weird champ to kind of like play once in a while, but like. Usually he feels fine, and like when I played him recently, he felt really weak to me. So I can see it, but yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on it, honestly.
Yeah, he's one of the worst junglers right now statistically, which I'm fine with because I really don't like playing against Ivern. But yeah, for Ivern players, I get it. You want your champion to be a bit more viable, so here you go. Here's some small buffs, and yeah. Well, actually, the Daisy one is more important than the Tibbers one, I will say. But this will push Ivern up. I bet he'll crest north of 48. Maybe he'll hit 49% win rate off this. I don't quite know, but we'll see. Next one we have is Janna. Sean, you want to cover Janna for me?
Sure, they got the bonus move speed from the W and the slow decrease. Okay, W bonus move speed and slow decrease. E shield decrease? No, that's just worded really badly, right? I'm not crazy. W bonus move speed and slow decrease. Okay, yeah,
No,
never mind.
they're
I'm just stupid.
yeah.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
don't know. Janna's like literally like the highest win rate champion in the game right now. She's like a 55% win rate. So when we're talking about like the 53 being like the high end of balanced, it's 2% higher. So yeah, I can see her needing some nerves. I don't totally understand why. Like it feels like champion feels really good right now, obviously, but like
Sir, she's not the highest win rate according to the tier list on u.gg. She is
oh, is
third
it Cinch?
highest. Singed is number 2. Do you want to guess the highest one? It's a bot laner. 57.2.
Is it Zeri?
It is
I think
not
that's...
Zeri.
Oh, Tom Kench.
It is Tom Kench.
Yeah, that's like a meme though. Like people actually play Jan. That's it's not like
Yeah. People only played Tom Kench bot with Senna, so that's why it's that combo is that good. Otherwise, they don't play it.
But I was playing ranked yesterday and I got filled support and I just picked Janna because like it's a very high skill floor champion, so you can just kind of pick it whenever, even if you don't main the champion.
Yeah.
And like it does feel stupid. Like the shield feels huge right now, and like the new like Q that goes fast as hell also feels really good. So like I can like the champion definitely feels really good right now. So like yeah, I can see the nerves. And that was me playing on one game. I can imagine like people that actually play a lot of Janna are like probably crazy on the champion right now. Like the champion is so annoying. It has to be one of the most annoying champions to play against in the game.
Probably is.
Where she can like sit there and CC you forever and then give like a 500 health shield to her teammates. Like,
and then heal them over a couple seconds for like 1,000 health or something.
And shove you back and knock you up and slow you. Like the champion's kit is actually pretty crazy. For
Yeah.
especially being one of the oldest kits in the game. Like I don't know.
Yeah, Janna's very good. I honestly haven't seen her though, so I don't know. I'm out on the Janna hype train. I haven't seen it, but I totally get. I mean, with this win rate and with what you're telling me at all, like this totally makes sense. And from what I know about Janna, totally makes sense, man.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. Especially like I'd say most other roles of a champion's that like high win rate, people are just gonna try it for the hell of it to see like why it's so high win rate. And like I have like the only time I've seen Janna I think was when I played it myself. So like it's just kind of
Janna
weird to me.
also has
really basic support.
There are no matchups right now where Janna does not have an above 51% or a below a 51% win rate.
Yeah,
That's problematic.
that's yeah.
So,
that's funny.
Yep.
Nothing beats Janna.
Well, now
nobody's playing it.
Now I bet something will beat Janna. But here's another J champion, Jarvan, which I'm super excited about this buff. Mana growth increased and his passive cooldown decreases with level. So the mana growth, whatever. If you're playing him, this doesn't do anything other than if you're playing him in a lane. But Jarvan mid isn't really a thing. Jarvan top is every once in a while is a thing for like 2 weeks, but not really reliably a thing. And Jarvan bot lane, not a thing. But Jarvan support is definitely a thing. It is played sometimes. It's very strong. You go AP with you go like Zonya's Rush, and then you max your flag, and you use your flag to poke. Level 1, it does like 100 damage with Scorch and with Airy. And then the shields it continually applies is pretty decent, and you have good engage and good base stats as well, because your passive does a flat amount of damage with an additional... It might have an AD ratio on it, but it even does... So it does 8% of the target's current health. So... if they're higher health, then obviously it does more. It's not max health. That would be crazy broken if it did 8% max health. So right before this, it was every 6 seconds you could trigger the passive on the same character, whether that's a minion, a monster, or a champion. Now it's still 6 at level 1, but once you hit every time you put a point in your ultimate, it goes down by 1 second. So realistically, you'll get to level 11, it'll be every 4 seconds. That's a big deal in a team fight where, and we talked about this last week, that's a big deal when you have a little bit over 1 attack speed. So every 4th attack, every 5th attack on someone, you're doing an additional 8% bonus bonus physical damage or bonus max health damage, or sorry, current health damage. Christ, that's a big deal. So I'm excited to see this for sure. I think he still needs a little bit more love, but it's definitely a push in the right direction. Like if I look at his win rates, yeah, right now he's 48.3. I've played him some. He feels kind of like if you get behind, it feels really, really, really bad. He never felt good from behind, but at least he was someone that felt semi-decent from behind. But yeah, wow, support I would have thought would have been ranked, but it's not. It has a 44% win rate. Yeah. So okay, but I don't know. When do you see Jarvans in your game, and if you do, how do they do normally?
I don't see a ton of them. I'd say like it is like a very like early game skewed champion. Like you really do want to be ganking quite a bit early and snowballing your lanes.
Yeah.
Jarvan, especially when he's like notorious for like level 2 ganking, because his level 2 gank is crazy. So like giving him this is like a very late game buff, right? Like every 3 seconds, level 16 you can proc your passive on somebody, which seems pretty crazy to me. I'm not like you're making like it just seems like you're making like a late or an early game champion like quite a bit better late game too. So like
So I get what you're saying, but let's think about like the functional use of how often are you in a team fight? Is he going to be autoing a champion twice in after within 3.1 seconds or so, or less than 6 seconds, basically like between 3 and 6 seconds, because that's the only difference in late game. Really not that much, because you're engaging or you're peeling with your EQ, you're doing some funky stuff there, and you're doing some autos, but you're still a lot of the time pinning people in your R and hitting them a couple of times while other people are hitting them, but then you're also usually having to get back out and you keeping them in the ring, or you're doing an engage and then you're trying to lock up as many people as possible and your allies are doing the damage, and you're just trying to smack each of them once if you can even get that far. But I don't know, like it is a buff for sure like you're saying, but I don't think it actually has that much functional use when you think about it realistically in a team fight.
yeah, like that's fair for like a team fight, but this is like at all points of the game, right? Like if you're going for like a pick on somebody or
Sure.
like somebody's splitting, and then you're probably proccing this like 2 or 3 more times than you normally would have, especially
Yeah.
in, like a tank or something, or like you catch like a jinx out, you might have only procced it like once, and now you're gonna proc it at least twice, probably.
Yeah, you will. This auto
So,
does have a little longer of a wind-up time to land than the others, so there's that. But yeah, I think it is it's nice. It's a buff. But the more I think about it, the less I actually think it'll make a big deal.
yeah, I mean, I guess to me it seems like it's probably or it looks like it's bigger than it actually is. Like I can see what you're saying. Like in theory, like it's probably not that huge, but like when I first see it, it feels like it's gonna be huge, and it probably honestly isn't.
The
But
biggest thing I think it is for taking down Baron and Drake. That's where I see it being the biggest help.
yeah, that's true.
Because then you're doing an extra 50 damage on an auto for like dragons, or even more, like 80 damage. Baron, you're doing an extra 120. Oh, I was thinking 10%, so a little less than that, like an extra 100, maybe an extra 150 as Baron gets tankier and tankier throughout the game. Again, this is before armor, but yeah, I'm excited to see if this actually makes a difference. I don't think it'll feel that different, but I will definitely be trying it. So, and I will report back. Cool. Next one. This is classified as an adjustment. It is Katarina. I'll just run through it then. So Kat is getting her passive AD ratio decreased whenever she picks up a dagger. that little flower or circle of daggers that hits, it does less AD damage. Or the bonus AD ratio on it does less damage. It's still magic damage that it deals, I believe, but the AD portion of the total damage is knocked down. The E base damage when she blinks to someone or something is increased, just the base, not the ratio, but the AD ratio on the E is decreased as well. They're trying to kick her out of building AD and tankier builds like building Sunderer into Bork into Death Dance, which is a very legitimately viable build on her, and it's really annoying and disgusting. And then also her R, the attack speed ratio is increased and on-hit effects are increased. So they're incentivizing, if you're going to build AD, build harder AD, but they also want you to be building AP, so build Gnasher's Tooth, build Bork, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think most people are in agreement to just get rid of. They're having such a hard time keeping Cat away from building 80 items. I'm not 100% sure why, but like it happened like last season. Now it's happening again this season. Like you said, it's just disgusting. Like she gets like a bunch of lifesteal. She gets tanky because she goes under her, and like she still is one shots everybody like super quick.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I don't get why this keeps popping up. Why can't they just like just kill it completely? But yeah, I'm not sad to see it go. I'll be honest, especially it's like killing tanks in like 2 seconds with her R. Like
Agreed. Let's see, what's her win rate right now? She's listed as D tier, but 49% win rate. So, and Plat plus, I don't know. She has a really high skill cap though, so I get it.
yeah.
All right, this is the first change that is pro play specifically for. This is Lucian, this is geared just at pro play because Lucian is basically pick ban in pro play. Oh, I scrolled back too far. Base AD decreased by, this is just 2 damage, and his Q base damage decreased later. It scales down to being 20 less damage. This is his first max. I don't know. I don't think this is that big of a deal, honestly. I mean, base AD is a lot more deceptive than like base AD changes are always hit harder than they look, but still, I don't think this is that big of a deal. They need to decrease the damage on his empowered autos. Really, is what I would say they need to do if they're trying to make him be less oppressive in pro play specifically.
Yeah, I don't really have a ton of a opinion on it. It doesn't seem that huge though. Like base AD is annoying because you'll probably be missing like some CS and stuff where you normally would have got them, but like other than that, like you said, it's basically the same to pro play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he is rated S plus tier, but he has a little shy of 51% win rate. At Masters Plus, 50.64. Challenger, where the pros are practicing, Challenger and Grandmaster, it's between 51 and 49, depending on which one you're looking at. So, yeah. Mid lane Lucian is not doing well, I will say. So I'm fine with that, because I don't like playing against it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean like other Lucians are like a meme. Like mid and top laner Lucian are memed on so much. But
Yeah.
like yeah, I'm glad they like kind of figured out a way to keep him bot lane because it always seemed weird that he was like when he was like better mid or top, it always just felt weird. So I'm glad they kind of figured that out at least.
Yep. So another adjustment that's coming through for someone that's in the bot lane as well. Good segue, Sean. Is Seraphine. Her E cooldown is being reduced early, but it actually is nerfed later, and the stun duration is down or is increased by 0.5 seconds. So she's going to stun you and slow you for slightly longer, and she's going to have it 1 second earlier at rank 1, but at rank 5, she'll have it 1 second later, not taking into account any ability haste. So I don't know. I mean, we talked about this last week as well, that I thought that this was kind of a nerf, and I think you fell on the side more of that it's not, it's actually a pretty decent buff. I don't quite remember.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I went on a huge tangent about this, but I was like kind of just like reiterating like
Yeah.
a point I'd saw on Twitter, but I think Seraphine 80, yeah, the point I basically made was the Seraphine 80 carry was already at like a 52% win rate, so you're just making, it feels like you're making it quite a bit better here.
Yeah, this is
But
targeted at Seraphine's support, I think. But even Seraphine mid is doing totally fine. Seraphine's support is the worst of her 3 roles. They're just targeting it everywhere. They didn't say about a specific lane they're going for it for. What's the elo that they're targeting this for? I guess it's just an it's not an adjustment, it's a buff. So they're not nerf or buffing it for any specific elo. Okay. They do see it as a buff, but I don't know. I don't play Seraphine outside of ARAM. I don't have a ton of experience with her, so I don't have much more to say on that.
yeah, I've never really played her that much.
Cool.
It's just
All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite murder clown, Shocko. He had base health growth and armor growth decreased, so he's going to be squishier as the game goes on. And his Q-AD ratio is increased, his W-AP ratio is increased, and his E, both the AD and AP ratios are increased. And that still does magic damage, but it's the AD and AP ratios. That's weird. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it does bonus AD and AP, but it does do magic damage. So he's doing, basically he's going to be dealing more damage, but he's going to be a little bit weaker, or a little squishier. Fine. He shouldn't be tanky. That's not what he's about. Probably a good move for Shocko. I don't know how this W change with the AP ratio will really affect, or I don't know how this would affect really his builds or his the win rates in his builds, but I don't think this really changes all that much. It just boosts him to be, if you know what you're doing with him, he's going to be even better.
yeah. So I got kind of a funny story about this because like on Twitter they like added this option where if you follow like one person from like a community of people, like you can just follow like 10 people at the same time. So I did that with League people like multiple times, and I ended up following Chase Shako,
Yep.
who he's like basically just like the best Shako in NA. I'm pretty sure he's just one Shako one trick challenger, and like he was losing his mind after the durability update, like complaining like crazy, and like people were memeing on him, and I think like Nice was telling him to like chill out or why not try to learn a different champion, like they're gonna buff Shako eventually, like just chill. And like I thought it was kind of funny because as like someone that just like changes champion constantly, like I can't understand why you would like still try to make something work if it's really bad. But apparently Shako was just unplayable on this patch or ever since the durability updates. So like I mean I guess it deserved buffs. I just feel like a lot of people hate playing against that. It is a very annoying champion, but I mean it's like thematically he's a clown, so like it's fair.
So I will say that it, like in Challenger, he has almost a 53% win rate. In Plat Plus, it's 49.2. On 12-10, it was 50. The stats say that he's roughly balanced, but yeah, I don't know. I've seen some of Chase's videos. It's pretty funny. Like there's actually one where Shocko got this character got to play in an LPL game last summer split, and he went and reviewed the game about if it was a good pick and what he should have been doing and everything. It's actually really cool to watch. So I definitely recommend you go and hunt that video down. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't mind playing against him, but really good Shockos are really good, and it's really annoying because they just play the mind game so well.
Yeah, and I guess like when the durability changes came out, like I like mentioned I didn't really feel much of a difference at all. Where like someone like him, where you only play Shaco, really like has to feel so terrible when you know exactly like how like every situation would feel, and it just feels like worse for your champion
Yeah.
because it's an assassin and like the champion or like the patch like directly nerfed what you want to do in any given situation. So like
It
I can
looks
see it.
like 12-9, 12-8, 12-7. U.GG was ranking him as an S plus champion, and now he's B. So yeah, he probably, based on how he plays, he was hit harder than most other champions for durability update.
Yeah. But shout out to him. He does a lot of cool flips on Twitter. He does like gymnastics and stuff. It's pretty cool to see.
Oh, sweet. So we have just a few more champions left. Soraka base heal increase, and her R base heal increase, and it no longer removes grievous wounds. This heal is a huge deal. I think this is actually just a buff, not a. I think it's just a huge buff because it no longer removes grievous wounds from targets, but I think you're healing enough to where grievous wounds is not going to be that much of an issue. And this is on a Oh, okay. I was thinking this is a W, but still, even if this is just on the R, like I still think that this is a buff. Not early, but level 16. If she ever gets level 16, she's stronger now. Level 11, she's also stronger. I'd say level 6 to 10 though, she's weaker. That's my guess on it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in general, it is a nerf. I don't. Soraka did feel really bad to play against lately. Like, I was trying out bot lane for a while, and like playing it, Soraka feels so bad. Like, you're like the whole point of Soraka lanes are really to like focus her down, kill her, or else she's just gonna sit there and heal the AD carry if you're trying to focus them.
Yeah.
And she just felt really tanky, like, and you just couldn't kill her, and her like ult was just crazy. I mean, this is just a nerf to her ult, but like, so the champion's basically the same. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like noobing out when I'm playing bot lane and I'm not playing it right, but like every time I played against it, it just felt really oppressive to me. So I don't know if this is gonna be enough to actually bring her down.
Yeah, I don't think it will, honestly. But we'll see. Then we have, let's see, 4 more champions. Okay, we can do this. Viego, I'll cover him, I guess, as I've been covering a lot of these other people. Passive heal decrease, not a big deal. W while casting his. So this is just an interaction that I didn't actually quite know. If you cast W while you're casting your E, you no longer instantly stealth. While you're charging your W, if you throw E, it no longer instantly stealths you, because there's supposed to be a drop off duration when you're doing something, and now I'm guessing they put that back in. But the R damage as well is down. It's decreased by wow, it's like 3 to 5% flat. The AD is not damaged when you're on bonus physical damage of their missing health, so it's going to execute you less hard. This seems like a big deal. The health, not a huge deal. The E, whatever, that's a weird interaction, but this R is a big deal. So in combination of those, I expect him to be not significantly worse, but like he's no longer going to be one of the kings of the jungle.
They're good. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
Champion feels so bad, especially when he gets like resets and he goes invulnerable for like a second, and then he gets like 400 health, like 300, 400 health back, and then gets to play as another champion for a couple seconds, and then just blow up somebody else. Like, it feels so bad. I don't know. Never been a big fan of Viego.
Yeah, I'll say that he feels a lot better if you're not playing the Sunderer variety. If you're building him with Kraken Slayer into Bork or Kraken Slayer into something else, it feels a lot better than Sunderer, I would say, and I think it's probably better overall. But yeah, he's rated not super high, but he's problematic in pro play for sure. So this will knock him down in pro play. Yeah, we don't like Viego. I know there's someone in chat watching and crying because Viego got nerfed. Well, you had your months of Viego fun. You can have a little bit of pain for Viego. Deal with it. Viego's still going to be decent. If you know what you're doing, it's still going to be good. And it's still going to stomp as the lower down the ladder you are. But yeah.
Yeah, I think yesterday I was playing ranked. I played a game of Orin where like if I'm remembering it right, I was like 3k HP, 4k HP, and I'd went full armor just because the other team was mostly like AD threats, so like I didn't feel like I needed to go MR that much. So I had like Frozen Heart and uh Thornmail and Sunfire kit, and it felt like Viego was like he was like trying to camp me like most of the game, and like he killed me in like 3 or 4 seconds when I was full armor 4k HP Orin. It just felt so disgusting. Like I understand like he's got a lot built into his kit to be anti-tank, and then like he goes like anti-tank items, but like a tank should not be dying that quick to one champion, man. That's so gross.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you itemize against them, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. He should not be able to tear through an Ornn with that much stats. So we're cool with it. Down with Viego. Next one, Yorick. Oof. We're not gonna have a lot to say on Yorick, but let's try. Sean, do you want to go through it?
Sure, they're just so the Mistwalker base health and move speed has been increased. The Maiden of the Mist base health increased. The target range based on E decreased. So I have never played Yorick in my life since they changed it, or like since the rework of him or whatever.
Right. So I've played him a couple. I've played him sometimes. I for like couple of days a few years ago. I tried to become a Yorick man and then realized I hated it. But yeah. So those. Well, okay. His maiden's easier to understand. It's getting tankier again. A big pet. They're making tankier because pets were not buffed in the durability update to be compensatory at all for the health buff. So maiden getting more health there, and then the chase range is good because apparently Maiden has a really shitty AI, like a lot of spaghetti code. So she would just keep running and chasing people further than she would. So now she's going to stay closer to Yorick and be more controllable, which is good for Yorick players. They can micro it better. There's only so much you can do because I don't think that you can like R click with it like you can with Daisy or with LeBlanc's clone or with Tibbers, but because if you press it again, then she just released down the lane. But yeah, she'll be more close, sticking closer to Yorick, which is going to be helpful for him. And then the passive, those little thralls, the Mistwalkers that come out, they're just going to be tankier. They are going to be strong. They're going to have more move speeds. They're going to get more of those hard hitting autos in. They're going to be tankier both in terms of base stats and in terms of max, like percent of Yorick's max health. So they're going to be tankier for sure. So watch out for Yorick. These seem like pretty decent buffs. How much further this will push him up, I could not tell you though. I don't know. We have a couple of Yorick players in the community, so I'll reach out to them and see. But yeah, right now he's 48% win rate with a very low pick rate. I think someone who's so weird like him is going to have a low win rate, but if you know what you're doing with him, yeah, into Diamond 2, he's got a 50% win rate, and then into Challenger. Challenger has a 56% win rate. What the fuck? Grandmaster 45. Okay, so there's going to be some high elo Yorick one tricks that know what they're doing. That's what's happening, I'm sure. But
It's like tiny ass sample size. I don't think like I've ever seen like a top lane
1% pick
challenger
rate.
player play
So it's big enough.
1%.
It's 1%. So it's more. It's
Yeah,
258 matches, but that could be one person theoretically. That's realistic to be one person in a whole patch. Still, it would be a lot of games, but that could be one or two or three people for sure. But yeah. All right. Do you want to cover Yuumi as well?
Sure, they increased their passive shield. Her E base heal was decreased, and the bonus move speed increased.
Okay, so what do you think? Is
So
this a Yuumi buff? Is this a Yuumi nerf? Because they said it was an adjustment for her.
I've played Yuumi like once, so like it's not.
Sean, you got to play all these champions so I can call on
I've said
you.
it multiple times. I hate this champion. I'm never.
Just play it in a
It feels like not. It feels like not playing the game to me, honestly. So like, it doesn't make sense for me to play it.
You got to play it so you can understand how to talk about it, my bro. Come on.
Oh, Yumi at all? I'm with like a lot of the league player base.
Yeah, a lot of people hate him, but like I don't know.
Think she just shouldn't be in the game in general.
I like Yuumi just because, well, A, I find her fun. I'm on that side of the camp where I like Yuumi, but B, she's so different as well. She's got such a different play style, and then also she's just like, I don't know. I don't dislike her at all, but I try to play all the champions so I can know about them and know what they do and know how they feel when playing them. Like, not at an expert level, but I know how they feel. But yeah, I don't know. I think so. Overall, what I would say on this is Yuumi is a very good support right now. This is going to make bad Yuumi players or casual Yuumi players worse and good Yuumi players better. Because if they're able to figure out and land these shields more often, it's going to be a slightly larger shield. Granted, it's not going to be very much larger. The shield is almost placebo buff, but the heal nerf is not that big until, I mean, rank 3 or rank 4 when you're losing a 30 base, and then rank 5 when you're losing 40 base that hurts. But oh wait, 1, 2, 3, yeah. And then but also her bonus move speed on the E that's better. So it's using the heal in the right situations because she also has outrageous mana costs. Using it in the right spot is important as opposed to just spamming it more often and just getting the heal. So if you're using it tactically for the move speed, I think that this is going to be better overall. But I don't know. I'm not sure how this is actually going to affect her. I would suspect her win rate's going to go down, but for the people that really know what they're doing, this win rate will go up. So, yep. Any other thoughts, Sean?
No, not really.
Cool. Good input, man. So Zeri, she is getting some more changes. Shocking. I didn't mean that as a pun because she's an electrifying champion or anything, but Zeri's health regen growth is increased, her W base damage is increased, her AD and AP ratios are decreased on her W. So her W is going to do more base damage, but it's going to scale less well with AD and AP. So it's meant to be more of a base heavy ability. And then but I don't like that because then that's already pushing her back towards the bruiser build. In any case, her health regen growth is up and her health regen at level 18 is then up to 15.5 consequently. So I don't like these because they're giving her more base stats back. This is exactly the reason why Zeri was problematic as playing bruiser. Granted, that was before the durability update, A, and then I realized my hand was down below the camera. So A, it was below that, and then B, or it was before the durability update, but then also B, there's been item changes and such right now. But I don't like that they're giving her base stats because that's what made her extremely problematic. Keep her as a low win rate, high skill cap champ, and force her down into crit is what I would say. Or force her to go AP. She needs more viability as an AP character. But not bruiser. Nope, don't want to see it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, the champion felt turbo broken to me in the last patch, so they're at least nerfing her a bit. I don't know if they intended her to be because she had like a new skin coming out, but like she literally just felt like the best AD carry.
She had a 50.5% win rate last patch, yeah.
Maybe the win rate wasn't like super high, but like the people that could play Zeri well, like the champion felt so disgusting. I played a ranked game against it yesterday where, like, albeit like the dude playing on it was a smurf because I had to go look at his op.gg afterwards, and he like every game he was going like 19 like 2, but in my game he played Zeri and you I don't know what to do. Like you almost need like a point and click hard CC for the champion. Like she was just kiting our team like perfectly and doing like 1 billion damage like every Q. So like I had no idea. I mean, I was playing Darius, which like isn't the best team fighting champion to begin with, but like even then, like it felt like unplayable to play against a good Zeri to me this patch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that also means that your bot lane didn't shut her down hard enough because she's like kind of useless early on. Like she's bad at the beginning of the game. But yeah, like she
Yeah.
in I mean it says exactly what you're saying. In Diamond 2 Plus in this patch, she had a 51.5% win and a 20% pick rate. So she was being played in 20% of the games and they were winning 51.6% of those games. Like that's almost rigged. In Challenger, it was even worse. It was 52, almost 53% win rate with a 24. She was in a quarter of the games in Challenger with a 52% win rate. That's just stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah, it feels so terrible to play against. I imagine like the good series, it probably feels awesome to be like sprinting around and kiting everybody on the enemy team, but like, holy shit, that champion is rough to play against.
Yeah. Yep. So that's Seri. Yep. Okay. Night Harvester is getting a buff. I would say we talked about this last time as well, but it's a build path change. So Blasting Wand's being replaced by a Fiendish Codex. No changes to the actual item stats. Just it's going to make it cheaper to incrementally buy. And if you want to hear, we talked about that a lot more last week. Go ahead and check out last week's episode. But yeah, like that's a really good change here, and it feels good whenever items get that. Serpent's Fang is getting a bug fix, which was allowing it to be way more effective than it's supposed to. They wanted to call it out because, as they said, it is, quote, a non-trivial nerf, even though it's a bug fix. Its Serpent's Fang no longer applies additional shield protection beyond, or shield reduction beyond 50% based on enemies' bonus heal and shield power. So that's kind of crazy that that was happening. And then Shadow Flame was underperforming, different bug, so it's also going to now be based on it's going to be more correctly interpreted with math. And then it's going to be more correct in terms of calculations, is what I meant. Okay. And then Predator is getting nerfed as well. Not happy about this. We talked about this for a while last week as well, but the Predator's maximum bonus move speed down early, up late, and then basically the damage is up early with lower AD and AP ratios, and the damage is down even harder late, and then in base at least. And the cooldown is up early. So it's, I don't really know what they're trying to do. They're just trying to kill it, is really my thoughts here. They're trying to make it into very few champions be able to use it, and it's like a mid-game rune almost. Oh Christ, I hit my desk with my knee there. Sorry, everyone. But I don't know. I think you're pushing more and more champions out of being able to use it, and it wasn't too strong, I don't think. But this is also, I think, maybe a way for them to get at nerfing Singed. Maybe they're just doing this to nerf him twice.
Yeah, that's fair. And like Viego too, like kind of similar.
Galio does the same thing. There's other junglers that use it as well, too. But
I personally hate using the rune. Like it just feels so awkward to me.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
I'm not sad to see it go.
Yep, they have a slight change to the way that vision works. I couldn't give you an example in which I actually saw this, but basically now vision's going to be instant rather than a slight delay. Slight delay, don't know if that was like a quarter of a second. If it was a second, I don't know exactly how long, but yep. Essence Emporium is back, so you can buy chromas. Start in that timeline of June 28th to the 12th, so those 2 weeks. You can buy chromas for Blue Essence, so go ahead and do that. Ward skins, emotes, icons, and Earthwick, which is very cool. And then yep, and then they're also bringing out some more Mythic Essence stuff. This is a nice quality of life that I saw. Muting a player during Champion Select will now carry over to in-game and end-of-game. This also means that muting someone in-game will carry over to end-of-game, which is great because I didn't like having to mute people in 3 different places. And additionally, individuals' players' mute status can now be seen, viewed, and toggled in the end-of-game screen. Great. That's good. There's a new clash coming up. There's some challenges that are added, so go ahead and check those out. as far as bug fixes, I don't think that there's any that were a big deal. Yeah, I don't think that they're... Oh, this one, kind of a big deal. Fixed a bug where if Olaf hits a blast cone while his R is active, he would not get knocked back by it. That was a bug? I thought that was intended.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of a weird thing.
I've done that before, like, because I don't play a
Yeah,
lot of Olaf.
I
I've
think
done
I've done
that.
that too, actually.
I figured that I would have gotten hit back. I was like, oh shit, I have my R. I'm not going to get moved. I think that maybe what they should do, it would be impossible to code, but the ideal situation is if Olaf hits the blast cone, he does get knocked back. If anyone else hits the blast cone, he does not get knocked back. But there's no way probably for them to code that. Because I don't think the blast cone gives a shit about who hits it. It just does the same effect always. So, yep. Interesting. Fixed a bug where Olaf's E Reckless Swing could heal towers if he casted it on the same target that the tower was last hitting. What the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but overall,
What?
there's not a lot of other bug fixes that matter. These skins look sweet, though. Have you seen the Snow Moon skins and then the new Pantheon skin?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they look fairly good.
They look very good.
Alawi getting a skin. She only has like 2 or 3. She has 3.
Yeah, these are fantastic.
Forever.
The Kane one looks sweet, and then the Pantheon one also looks good, but honestly, the Alawi one is the star of this, for sure. If you want to go on Skin Spotlights, I think they have a video where they go through them. They're so cool to look at. The Caitlyn one's fine. It looks cool, but it's not really filling. Like, Necrit goes through this. If you... Necrit's a YouTuber. I'd recommend you check his page out for all sorts of stuff. But he goes through it in, like, Rift News and talks about the lore about why these skins make sense. And it's a really cool skin line, and it makes sense thematically in the Blood Moon lore. And then these skins totally make sense. But, yeah, then totally go and check out these skins. I think they're going to be sweet in game. The splash art looks cooler than the skins in game, I will say, but Kane looks the best in game of the 3 of them, I will say for sure. Yep. And then there's chromas and stuff, but honestly, the chromas look better, or the base skin looks better than any of the chromas in my mind. Oh, they're adding a chroma for final boss Viego. Very cool. He's turning into like a little purple or a little purple evil mage. I like it. So, and that's patch 12.12. So thanks for everyone for tuning in. We'll report back on some of these buffs that we said that we would, buffs and nerfs, but very cool patch overall. Very cool skins coming out. Hopefully we keep getting juicy patches like this. I don't see any questions in chat that we could answer, but I guess I'll vamp for another minute or so in case anyone wants to post something. We can totally answer questions right now. But yeah, please go and check out. Thank you to all of our patrons who get access to a variety of different benefits, and you can find the Patreon page when you just look up the Trinity Force Network on Patreon, and we do allow for different tiers. You can do coaching sessions, both live or VOD reviews. Also, you can, if you want to pay $50 for an individual month, you can become a one-time guest on the pod, and we would love that. And we might drop that price down, but for now, it's still at $50. We could incorporate you and talk about you and all of your glory in League and whatever else you want to be talking about. So yeah, please do check that out. Other than that, we have community game nights, which happen at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time, depending on daylight savings. I don't know which one is which, but yeah, daylight savings is stupid. So go ahead and check that out as well. And yeah, it's a great time. We normally stream those. It wasn't streamed last night because I wasn't there. I have family in town, so dealing with stuff like that. But yeah, game night, and then check out our Patreon. Come join the Discord. Pretty active in there. People are looking for other people for competitive teams or just hanging out, and it's a good time. It's a good group of people, so feel free to come in. But other than that, we got no questions in chat. We don't have any listener questions to go over right now, but I don't know. Sean, do you have any other questions at all? Like, I'll let you see if we have a question there. I know I'm putting you on the spot, and you did not prepare at all for this. So if you don't have anything, that's fine.
No, I don't think I do.
Okay, gotcha. Here, I'll pose. We got a few more minutes where, just I want to fill anyway. So here, I have a question here. What's like the champion that you think is most played in the wrong role? Like, you think they're better in a role than they're not played in as popularly as they're played in.
I mean, action just comes to mind right now. I mean, I think it's mostly just because I've been watching a ton of Dritad, but she's like really funny, by the way. If you're looking
Yeah.
for like a funny league streamer,
Yeah,
like,
he
I
is.
didn't watch a ton of them before. I've been watching a ton of them lately. He's hilarious. He's been like making me try to play action, but like action top is like played so little it doesn't even show up in like Riot's client. If you like click on top laners, he doesn't show up at all. So
It is ranked on u.gg, but it's not
yeah,
its
it
most
is
popular
on
role.
U.gg, but like I think the client thinks it's a mid laner right now, and it feels crazy top lane. Like, you bully like most meta top laners pretty easily early, and then you outscale the shit out of them later. So it's just like crazy if you're good at it. It's just the E is really hard to get used to and get good at using.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a fair trade-off. I've been trying a little bit of action. I keep messing up the E, and it's been pissing me off to no end. So I think I'm just gonna stop. I keep getting really mad at it. It's so easy to just like, especially with like melee champions, they just stand on top of you, and it just breaks it the second you try to use it. So you have to read them a little bit and use it super early, which is what I have not been able to do. So, I don't
Gotcha.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what comes to mind right away. I'd have to think about more to give a better answer, I guess.
Okay. Well, one that comes to mind for me is Jhin mid. I think it's heavily. I actually think it's better in mid. I mean, he's very good right now in bot lane, apparently, according to stats. But in mid lane, he doesn't have a lot of pick rate, but it's still almost 50%. Depends on the matchup more, because I think in bot lane, you can kind of just blind him. But if you play in mid lane, it's a bit more situational. But you can bully a lot of matchups. You could also just like free farm. They can't really push you out with fleet footwork, and you can take you could start cull, even is what I do a lot when I'm in those games, and yeah, cull and some health pots, and just get your boots and just chill. And it's way safer than bot lane as well, just because it's a shorter lane, so you can run away a lot faster and flash away from shit and stuff. Yeah, I think it's way better than bot lane personally, but I don't know if I don't know. You play a lot of Jhin. Do you think that would actually hold up if there was a decent sample size, or no?
I don't think so. I think a lot of the meta right now is control mages, and AD carries are historically bad in the control mages. They usually just get bullied out of lane pretty quickly.
Sure.
So like Victors and Syndras and Annies just do way more damage in a burst than can run away. Where Jhin, you kind of have to sit there and like hope you hit a Q or hit him with a W. But I mean, at like low elo, it's not gonna matter. Like, you can just play safe and farm up, and then be a very strong Jhin compared to a normal bot lane Jhin, because it'll be higher levels. So I mean, I can see it.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd say it sounds bad in the control mages. I don't know, but I don't think I've ever played Jhin mid. That's my most played champion, so
Go play him.
I'm not sure.
Go play him
Honestly,
mid when you're playing around in norms and stuff. Just try it out. It's actually really fun.
yeah. I feel like I kind of dropped Jhin because I feel like he's just kind of boring, honestly. Like, I don't know. With the way he is right now, like, he's not all I remember. The Jhin I remember was like a really hard lane bully, and he did like a good amount of damage early, and now it feels like Riot's kind of made him more of into like a scaling AD carry. And he doesn't do it as much early, so like, I guess that playstyle is a lot more boring to me. I like champions just like are strong early. That's why I
Gotcha.
play like a Darius or like.
Yeah, and Ornn as well as one of them. Ornn is strong at all points, but yeah.
Yeah, Ornn early is very like deceivingly strong, I'd say. Like most people play into a tank matchup and they like don't think they're gonna take a ton of damage, and then Orin like W just does like a quarter of your health. So like
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all pretty similar, I'd say.
Okay. Well, with that, thanks for indulging me in my question, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.